Hey, what's up? Happy Friday. Alright. You know what I wanted to touch base on real quick because I went through it and that lets me know that I'm more than likely not the only one that has gone through this. So, should you be someone that is trying to help yourself out by getting therapy, okay, for the narc abuse or whatever, and your therapist starts sounding narky themselves? It's okay. I'm here to tell you, it's okay to ditch that fucking therapist too. Get a new one. Get a new one. If you really need therapy, get a new one. I totally dumped that first therapist that I had right in the trash can, deeper than anywhere Oscar the Grouch could ever fucking dig at. Why? Okay, well, one of the things that let me know that she was also either a narc or just a gross ass person is when you first go to therapy, you have to have like an initial visit, like, where you just tell them things and they kind of assess like what your sessions are going to be about, right? And when I'm like, oh, my ex narc husband is cheating on me, he's doing this, he's threatening this, I'm being stalked, she literally was like, oh, I mean, like, I don't really, like, it's not really, like, huge, like a big deal. I mean, blah, 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 right? I dumped her ass off quick, because you know what that bitch sounded like to me? She sounded just like the same type of bitch that helps a narcissist cheat. She sounded like the same type of pick-me-ass bitch that will get off of her job from therapy sessions and go suck someone's husband's dick. I was like, you know what? I can't do that. So I dropped her ass. I blocked that bitch and I got another therapist. Now, let's go into a few phrases that I'm just going to use to back up what I'm saying. I was scrolling through social media today and I saw something where a particular person, was actually addressing the fact that people use the phrase hurt people, right? And how she wasn't feeling that. And I was so relieved to see someone else actually say that out loud, because I frequently, and you can even go back through some of my videos, I will have said this in my videos. Hurt people do not hurt people. Toxic, fucked up, abusive, manipulative, thieving ass, cheating people hurt people. There are so many people that I personally know that have been through some horrific, I've been through some horrific ass things. Some of which I don't know if I don't know if I'll ever say them all out loud. But I'm not out there fucking hurting people. And a lot of the people that I know that have been brutally assaulted and hurt in their lifetime and in their childhood and shit like that, they did not grow up to hurt people. They used their experience to help people. So no, bitch, hurt people don't hurt people, Mrs. Therapist or Mr. Therapist, bitch. Bad, gross as fuck people hurt people. So let's shit on them excuses for toxic motherfuckers. I'm not making no excuses for no toxic motherfucker. Okay? So yes, back to my point. It is okay to ditch a fucking therapist. A therapist, honestly, and no shade to any of you guys, if you're a therapist, just be sure that you're giving like legit information based on facts versus your own opinion, because a lot of therapists use that little PhD and shit to give their personal opinion to someone who's expressing things that they probably themselves had not even ever gone through, nor will they ever go through, possibly, right? So aside from the hurt people comment, this is another one when I was dealing with my second therapist. She was alright, you know what I mean? She was alright, but she mentioned every time I would tell her about all the horrific things going on, she's like, well, since I didn't personally psychoanalyze him, then all I can really say is that he sounds like he has narcissistic tendencies. Excuse me. What the fuck is a tendency? Huh? A tendency is like, this person has a tendency to leave their underwear on the bathroom floor. They have a tendency not to close the cabinets when they take something out to eat. They have a tendency not to put the top back on the orange juice. Those are bad habits and tendencies. Fucking people over at rapid speed on repeat over decades is not a tendency. That's who the fuck that person is. That's what they are. That's who they are. That's what that is. That's not a tendency. You know, if you ever hear a therapist try to dim down and dull down what it is you're saying by saying that the person who did these horrible things, horrific things to you as well as other people, if they call that a tendency, drop they ass to the floor like a whore's dirty drawers before a fuck. Okay? Drop them down to that floor. Just bye. And slide them to the side with your foot. Because you don't want to touch it. You understand? So, no. When she said he had narcissistic tendencies, I'm like, okay, so aside from being a licensed therapist, she may as well have gotten a law degree so she could protect serial rapists. So walk up in that courtroom on the serial rapist defense team and say, oh my gosh, okay, this is why he should be let go. He's not really a rapist. I mean, I know, yes, it was 145 people in the same back alley of New York City or whatever. And I know, yes, I know, it was non-consensual and the people didn't want to participate in unwanted sexual acts with the same person that's standing here in this courtroom today. But he's not really a rapist. He just has rapist tendencies, you know? Like, sometimes he rapes. That's ridiculous, correct? It's disgusting, correct? That's the exact way that therapists sound to me when you say someone has a tendency to continuously and intentionally and maliciously and well thought out, mapped out plans to fuck somebody else over and their life up. Okay? So don't listen to nobody else. I'm not saying don't get therapy. I'm pro take care of yourself by any means necessary. But if you start to see signs like that in a therapist, get rid of their ass too, because at the end of the day, they clock out just like everybody else, and they go home and do dirty ass shit too. They go home and fuck somebody else's husband or wife too. They go home and beat their wife or kick the dog and the cat or molest their children. They do all that weird ass shit when they clock out. This is their job. Okay? So when they stop doing their job properly and start dulling down what the fuck you are saying, get rid of their ass. Don't nobody out here have no lame ass tendencies. Do not believe that shit ever the fuck. Okay? If you're out there serial cheating, then you're a cheater. If you're out there raping, you're a rapist. If you're out there killing, you're a murderer, bitch. If you're out there, stealing from other people, you're a thief, bitch. Like, you don't have the tendency to be those things. You are that thing. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You heard, you dig. Okay? So, I just wanted to touch base on that. For anybody who might be feeling like confused or like, they're going to therapy for this narc abuse situation and you're not quite vibing with that therapist, you're not vibing not because something's wrong with you. You're not vibing because that therapist has something going on with their self to where they're just putting that onto you and you're paying them for it. Which is fucked up, right? Because you're paying for it or your insurance or whatever the fuck to try to get help. But when help stops being helpful and starts hurting by trying to keep your mindset in that same space, it is okay to drop a therapist. So hopefully I touched base on everything. I usually don't get to touch base on everything that I wanted to say, but yeah, ain't nobody out here about to give you that clout by being like, or that poor ass excuse of just having a tendency to do something. You know what I mean? No. No, you don't have tendencies. You're that thing. So, yes, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the bullshit. Don't listen to that. And yes, again, to piggyback off that young lady, no, hurt people do not hurt people. Hurt people heal properly, find God if they don't already have God, and they strive to be better than the ones that hurt them. Hurt people don't hurt people, dude. Malicious bastards do. Okay? Anyway, so, yeah, I hope your weekend goes really well. I'm sure it will. And I hope this helps somebody out there. All right? All right. Love y'all.